Some more announcements. Billionaire Mark Lazary sees Bitcoin at $40,000 as it goes mainstream. Moreover, Grayscale crypto funds raised $250 million in assets by the end of June. A few more of those. Binance, the cryptocurrency exchange, raised over $410,000 in donations for flood victims in Japan. So, I'm guessing that most of you who are watching right now either have already invested in cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin or not and are considering doing that. So let me address this issue real quick. If you're considering right now whether it's a good idea or a good investment to go into Bitcoin, let me say this. Whatever amount of money that you have to invest, let's say it's $100. Okay, so the first barrier that we want to take outside is I don't have enough money to invest, right? This is probably most people's first barrier. I don't have enough money to invest. I don't have $100,000 in the bank to play with. I don't have $1 million. So let's say that you have $100 to invest. That's it. Okay? And now you're thinking, all right, I have $100, but what if I put the $100 into Bitcoin and it collapses, it goes down, I've lost all my money, right? Right. So what you should do in this case is take 1% of your investable assets. If you have $100, take $1 out of the $100 that you have and put this $1 into Bitcoin. If you have 10,000 or 100,000 or a million, it's the same. Start with 1% of your investable assets. Now, if 1% seems too small for you, let me go back to the headline here. Billionaire, not a millionaire, billionaire by the name of Mark Lazary said when interviewed on CNBC that he has invested 1% not only of his own net worth, but his entire family's net worth. So 1% for a billionaire is $10 million or more. So this 1% could be a lot of money for some people. And even if all you have is $10,000 or $100,000 to invest, this 1% could still outperform the other 99% of your net worth that you may have invested in stocks, bonds, or real estate. So the reason for that is Bitcoin's return is asymmetrical. It is not symmetrical. It could go up 10x or 100x. You can't really get those returns anywhere else. Gold, oil, real estate, stocks, bonds. You can't really get 10x or 100x. So it could also fall to zero. Anyone who denies that is blind. This is also an option. But so when you're thinking about an investment, you're thinking about two things, right? Downside and upside. So the reason you should go into Bitcoin with 1% at least of your net worth is the risk-reward ratio is leaning heavily toward the upside, right? If you take $1 or $10,000 or whatever it is that is 1% of what you can invest, the downside is losing your investment, the $1, and the upside is turning this $1 into $10 or $100 or who knows, maybe even 1,000. So in case that happens, this is a life-changing upside. It's a life-changing money-making opportunity. There was a question I read somewhere which I really liked, which goes, people say, I can't afford to invest in crypto. Well, can you afford not to? And from a rational standpoint, the answer is no. You cannot afford not to invest in Bitcoin. Let me add on that point. In the past, most of the big investment opportunities were not presented for me and you, for the average person. They were mainly presented for rich, highly connected, wealthy individuals, mainly from United States and China. So, you know, the case of Facebook, the billionaire investor Peter Thiel invested around $500,000 into Facebook, and this is actually the investment that turned him from another millionaire into a billionaire. Okay, so he turned $500,000 into billions and billions of dollars. And this opportunity to invest in Facebook when Mark Zuckerberg was just a 19-year-old kid playing with the website in his dorm rooms, we did not, you and me, we did not have this opportunity, right? But Bitcoin, unlike past opportunities, is available for everybody. And what's the beauty here is that in the past, when a stock, let's say Facebook or Google or Amazon, when it comes into the public's reach, when you and I can invest in it as a stock on the public stock market, it's not as great of an opportunity as it was for the first VCs, for the first investors, when they had an asymmetrical upside downside risk reward ratio. You and I, we don't have that after a stock goes IPO. Still phenomenal opportunities there. You should have still bought Google, Facebook, Amazon after their IPO'd, right? You'd have been up a lot of X right now. But pretty much for the first time in history, Bitcoin is an opportunity that was first presented to the little guy, and only later on did the Silicon Valley, the Wall Street, the institutions caught up. And as I mentioned earlier, remember the four quadrants of the capital flowing into a field? This has been mainly a game played by the individuals, the retail investors in Asia so far. A little bit Europe, a little bit States, pretty much nothing on the institutional side. So there's still a huge upside to go here. Let me give you a few examples. Tim Draper, a very famous Silicon Valley investor, one of his portfolio companies is Skype. His price prediction for Bitcoin is for Bitcoin to reach $250,000, $250,000 by 2022, and he's actually the guy who predicted Bitcoin at $10,000 in 2017. So there's also many smart guys who think Bitcoin could be somewhere from $100,000 to $1 million. So there are predictions of $100,000 for 2020 and $1 million for 2025, 2030. So again, to reiterate, the upside potential here is huge. Can you afford not to invest in Bitcoin? I think the answer is no. Take 1% of your investable assets, whether it's $100, $1, or $1 million. Take it, buy Bitcoin. The asymmetrical return is absolutely staggering. Do it today and you will not regret it, believe me. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us in the comments below. We'd like to hear your thoughts. Have you already invested in Bitcoin? Have you not? Why? Why not? Let us know so we can answer your comments and have a more prepared video for tomorrow for you. Until then, see you. CryptoZoneDaily.com.